What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the KCM. This is week 7. Very excited to be here. Very excited indeed. Very happy that we're not taking another 2-week little vacation there once again. We're getting right back into the action here. We're getting close to the end as well. Protoss way ahead right now, so hopefully we can see a bit of a comeback here today from either the Zerg or the Terran, who are kind of neck and neck in second and third place. We're getting that lineup now. There it is. JYJ, Rush, and Sharp for the Terran. Best Shuttle, YSC representing Protoss today. Miso, Hero, and Soma representing that Zerg. And looking at this lineup, guys, I feel like this is a bit stacked here. Protoss looking kind of weak right now. Pretty darn weak. I don't want to rain on any of these Protoss players. I just realized Rain is one of the strongest Protoss players, right as I was saying that, but no pun intended. Not sure if that was even a pun. Anyway, no Rain here. We've only got Best, Shuttle, and YSC. Best still a very, very strong player, but Shuttle and YSC really not in the top tier anymore. Well, Shuttle anyway. Got an overpull coming here from Miso. I think that Miso definitely capable of taking down Shuttle here, even though he is definitely the worst or the least strong. I'm gonna say it nicely here. Least strong player of these three. Definitely Hero and Soma at the very tippity top in terms of Zerg power levels at the moment. And Shuttle, he's going to be throwing down, what is this right here in the middle? Forge, okay. The positioning on this map is very confusing to me here. Since I'm not a Protoss player, I have never tested out this map really for Protoss, and especially I really haven't played much of this map. This map was popular and in the latter meta before I ever picked up Zerg, so I only really have experience playing Terran here, and I have a lot of nightmarish memories of tank drops behind my mineral hatches, so that's not going to be a factor here, but on this map it is destination. Just want you guys to be aware that I really don't know much about this matchup, how it functions in terms of this map, what kind of cheeses are possible here and whatnot. How strong the Hydralisk bus meta is on this map. I assume that it would be really good, considering how difficult it is to set up the wall here, how little space there is to place cannons behind that wall. I just assumed that that would be, or that this would be a great map to try that out on. If there was any map that was actually going to be good for this. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Miso is going to go for it, but that means that Shuttle will have to be very wary of that play. This is a 2-player map, and it's a very long map, so it takes longer to get across the map. Whoa, 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 Hydra's down already. Before the third base even comes down, he's got speedlings out right now looking to do some harassment, maybe try and run by here. That is a possibility. Still, there are 2 cannons, so 2 cannons, very tough to run by. You're going to lose quite a few lings just getting through there, especially if the probes are pulled to block. You might end up losing everything, so he's not going to go for it just yet. Probes being pulled and kept in position to block these lings if they did try to run by here. Just keeping that as a tight wall. Cybernetics score there in the front, but that blocks a ton of space. So I think that Shuttle may live to regret that Cybernetics score positioning. We've only got 2 hatches here, and we're going to have Hydras really quick. They're going to be coming out insanely fast. I think I only see a single drone at the natural mining way, so yeah, this is gonna get crazy real quick. Where Shuttle doesn't even have anything out on the map. He's getting his starport right now. He's got 2 cannons. Putting any more cannons in that area is going to be very difficult. He's going to have to put some in the mineral line, probably. If not behind those cannons there on the left side. So this will be a really, really tough hold. If he's able to hold this at all, I think he's going to be completely blindsided here, and he might just die instantly with only 2 cannons and 2 zealots. Very, very low chance that he manages to actually survive here. The Corsair should be popping relatively soon. Okay, a cannon coming up in the front, but that's about the worst positioning for a cannon, I think, ever. I guess that's to defend the assimilator there, but it's just going to die instantly here. And there's the reveal. Hydras have been shown here, and they're able to battle with the zealots out of range of the cannons, so all of them have gone down. These cannons are going to fall instantly here. Oh, he needs to actually attack. Okay, he's attacking now. Fire on this cannon. Cannon goes down. Once again, both of those cannons fall. The Zealot will be picked off here as well. He's killing off this Overlord, but I don't think he has a Templar Archives. Pretty sure he doesn't have one, so that's not really going to make a big difference. He's going to jump on this last cannon. It will go down as well. The probes are falling, and that's going to be it for our first game, guys. A quick beating here. Our first Protoss player going down. Miso takes that first kill. Alrighty, next up we have Miso versus Sharp. Miso down here in the bottom right, Sharp in the top right, so vertical spawns. Miso sending out his Overlord in the correct direction. I believe we are here on... Which map is this? I think this is Revolver. Take a look here in a second. I was just going back and reviewing previous VOD. Took a look at the points, and it's possible for Terran to actually tie Protoss in the rankings. It is possible. If they manage to win the next 2 weeks, this week and the next week, and then if Protoss came in third, if they didn't get any points for those next 2 weeks, then it is possible. But it's not possible for Zerg to even out the score with Protoss. So in reality, I don't think it's very likely that we're going to see a tie. I think that realistically here, it's these 2 races that are fighting for that second place spot. And of course, the prize money as well. For these next few days, $750 will go to the winning team, so that's always nice to put into the pocket there. But I'm really kind of shocked if you think about it. Right now, we're sitting in a situation here in KCM where Protoss is utterly dominant. Their points way ahead of everyone else. No chance, practically no chance that they're actually going to wind up getting second or third place. They've basically got that locked in now, so they will be going into the finals. Protoss, it will be an X versus Protoss finals here, almost certainly. And that's crazy to think, because I've heard a lot of discussion here recently, and I'm guilty of it myself, is just kind of putting Protoss out of the mind there, just thinking that Zerg is really dominant in all of these big tournaments, but making a big comeback here in this season. And of course last season they started out doing very well, but kind of fell apart there in the end. This time not so much, keeping strong throughout the season. Maybe gonna lose this week, but that's I think the first week that they've actually come out third place. That would be the first week that they've gone out third place. So really good showing from the Protoss this season. Now, as for TVZ on this map, as for Miso versus Sharp, I'm not sure how this matchup's going to go. Sharp, an incredibly aggressive player. He throws out a lot of different builds, but he's going for a 2-rack play right now. This is about as standard gets. He did try to throw down an engineering bane early game, tried to slow down the natural of Miso, but it didn't do too much. And he also had to throw down a bunker back at home to keep himself safe right off the bat, so he didn't gain as much, I think, there as it might have looked like. Here's that Miso not adding on too many drones here back at home. He's only got 3 drones mining gas right now. That's a little bit shocking. What has he got planned back at home? As a follow-up here, nothing in these... really? Okay. This is one of the lowest econ 2H plays I've seen, and he didn't really build that many lings either. What is going on here? I'm a bit confused. Just a very, very early layer or something like that, taking the gas super early. I was doing a little bit too much thinking about the tournament overall, and I must have missed something pretty spectacular with this build of Miso. If it ends up working, we're definitely going to have to go back and take a second look at it, because he's coming across the map here with 6 mutas at a very early timing. 545 here hits. The first few turrets are up there, and then naturally starts to fight with those Marines, but Sharp seems to have got the timing down here pretty well. He's on top of this. Ling run by here, gonna start to deal damage to one of these turrets. Can he actually pick that off? The repair is good, but he comes in with the mutas to finish it off. Firebat gets picked as well. A few more SCVs go down, and now he's got some position over this mineral patch. The turrets have been pushed back rather far, so he's going to be able to get on top of the minerals in the main, but also has access to some of those minerals in the natural. Ooh, getting a little bit caught here. Miso going to lose more than he bargained for. Yikes. Taking quite a bit of damage flying over those Marines and turrets. It's only got 4 mutas left in that stack. And more mutas are still being added on here. Miso not going for any additional econ. He's got, a couple of drones actually joining at the natural now. So he is adding on a few drones there. Starting to get the mining going at the natural, but this is still an extremely low econ game so far. Diving in here over and over again, trying to kill off as many SCVs as possible, but Sharp thinking about moving out now. He's got his range and stim ready to go. Start to fight with these units. Ooh, almost picks off the medic there, super low on that HP, just 4 HP left there, and manages to sneak away. Good trade there from Sharp, able to keep those mutalists back just a little bit longer. Keeping the main part is, of course, keeping the mutalists away from your natural, stopping that constant harassment by placing pressure on the Zerg player to just defend here. He can't really just allow this medic ball to get into his natural. The last 2 trades there were really Sharp favored. And Miso, this is all he's got. He's got nothing else behind this, just this mutalist ball. And the longer that this mutalist ball is forced to stay out here on the map, rather than harassing and trying to kill his opponent, the better it is for Sharp. Sharp reinforcing there, just in time, able to keep that Marine medic ball alive. Ooh, this Reinforcement trail going to get picked off there. Miso continuing to trace this, but trailing the Marine Medic Ball is not really what you want to do with this style of play. Miso is pretty much in trouble right now. He's going over towards the natural. He's got to go and try to deal some damage to his opponent. Try to get something done. You can see he's adding on a second sunken, hoping that that will be enough to deal with the Marine Medic. They're out on the map right now. But back at home, ooh, diving on these Marines and turrets. He's taking control over the barracks area of Sharp's base. And with this control, it's going to be very hard for Sharp to stabilize. How is he going to get any units out here to actually fight with this? Complete coverage over these barracks. All of the Marines are going down. The barracks are starting to fall as well. He's going to dive on these. Oh, Sunken Colony 1 goes down. He's only got 3 medics here, but it looks like it's going to be enough. The second Sunken Colony goes down. He's buying a little bit of time here, a little bit of breathing room for himself. Kills off a drone or 2 as well. All of the mutas have to come back, which means that he can retake control over his barracks area here, but he loses his entire medic marine force. Definitely worth it, I believe, in this situation. He's building into a Valkyrie as well. So many turrets here in the natural, adding on a couple of turrets more in the barracks area as well. Ooh, just picking off these turrets and gonna dive in on top of the turrets in the main base as well. Can't actually hold on. Sharp with only 3 Marines here, 2 Marines left over. So low on the army count, and he just needs his Valkyrie to pop out. There it is. Valkyrie pops. Get that shot. There we go. 1 moving shot. The Mutalists are going to have to back away here. That's going to buy Sharp a little bit more time here. Get some more turrets. Get control of that barracks area. Very, very tight game right now. More Lings coming up towards the natural. This is potentially a back-breaking move here with the Lings coming in. If you start to kill a bunch of these turrets with the Lings, then you can absolutely dive in and finish off the natural there with the Mutalist Clump. Not gonna happen though. It brings those Marines down, which he managed to save in that previous engage. Some Scourge coming up here. Gonna try and pick off one of these Valkyries. There's 2 right now. Oh, beautiful attack move by Sharp. That moving shot by Sharp. That's a difficult micro trick, but he's playing it off brilliantly here, and he gets another double shot onto those Mutalists, really bringing down their HP there and making them much less of a threat here. Lot of Overlords out in front of the space. If Miso loses these Mutalists, all of the Overlords are going to go down. He's going to be in an insane amount of trouble. And unlikely that he'll be able to win this game if those Mutalists actually do fall. He needs to get some Scourge hits onto those 2 Valkyries. He needs to lower that count as much as possible so that he can actually take engagements with those Mutalists. There we go. Picks off 1, but he's only got a few Mutalists left over. Here's that next Scourge coming out for the connection. Not going to get it. Lucky did pull away some of his... Oh, picks off another Valkyrie there. That was a nice move. Really nice move. Only 1 Valkyrie remains. But the Overlord goes down. Luckily, he pulled away the majority of those Overlords, pulling a lot of them back. But GG, he calls. Miso taps out, and Sharp takes the win. Just didn't have enough time there to morph those lurkers. Was about to die. Quite a crazy game. I'm going to go back and just take a look at that opener once again to see what it was that Miso did. Let's jump into it. So yeah, guys, taking a look at it, was the 11 hatch gas. Or 11 pool gas. Quite a strange build here from Miso. And he actually kept this gas and he started mining it. The hatch was blocked, and then he just went straight into lair before the first hatch or the expansion hatch was even ready to go. So, very interesting build here from Miso. Didn't end up working out against Sharp, but an extremely low eco two hatch Mutalist build. Wonder if we're gonna end up seeing that a lot on ladder. That it seems like I don't know if that's something that Miso's actually invented himself, or if it's something that's kind of floating around now. But it's definitely not something that we've seen a lot in the past, and it's interesting to see someone like Miso pulling that out. Anyway, we're going to jump into the next game, guys. Here we go. Next up, we've got Sharp versus YSC. Sharp spawning down here in the bottom right, YSC in the bottom left. I got a lot of faith in Sharp right now, guys. I'm feeling this guy right now. He's been playing very nicely. I'm surprised he was able to predict and properly react to Miso in that last game, but it felt like maybe he'd played against that style before. His turrets were up just in time. Everything was pretty much dealt with perfectly there in that game, so mad respect for him for being on top of the meta still here. I know he does a ton of streaming. He plays a lot of ladder, so maybe that's something that he's seen multiple times in the highest levels of play on the ladder. But it's definitely slipped by my view thus far, and I'm sure a lot of you guys haven't seen it yet either. Maybe we're going to see it more in the future. Now he's up against YSC. And YSC gonna go ahead and scout everything out here. He is putting a little damage on that first SCV, and a Zealot is coming across the map, so that could come into play here a little bit later as the Zealot arrives in the natural, tries to get up there and try to just deny that building SCV on the factory. No, he's gonna go ahead and head around here. Very interesting. I'm not sure where the Zealot is heading. I guess it's gonna come down and try to get past this Marine, but it's not gonna end up working. Oh, Sharp just almost scouted that, Zealot there, but doesn't end up spotting it. The SCV also going around the long way, and it will be able to sneak right up into that main base there. As the probe is coming out towards the natural, he's going to get all the scouting information that he needs. And a Vulture expand coming out of Sharp. He's rushing forward here with 4 Marines. He's got the Vulture out as well. Start to deal that damage with the Vulture onto that Zealot. Nice focus firing overall from Sharp, and he takes down the Zealot and the probe, only losing a single Marine. The Vulture, though, is very low. He's got to be careful with that. I think he is going to lose it, in fact. Yes, he does, and the Dragoon going to run and get away here. So that is actually a big pickup for YSC, keeping that Dragoon alive. That will regenerate its shields. Oh, unless, okay. I'm gonna have to back off there. Keep that Dragoon alive. Very, very low HP there. But picking off the Vulture means there's no real threat on the map from Sharp here, so able to continue to try to micro here against the Marines, try to fight against those, and not fear any sort of Vulture run by, not fear any sort of mines on the map. And it's likely that Sharp was actually researching mines before this. With the Vulture expand, it's usual that you would actually get that mine upgrade right away, because you want to keep yourself safe against openings such as the DT opener. You also want to try to trap those Dragoons when they're out on the map, try to put some mines behind them so they'll walk backwards into them, and just do moves like that. Mostly just take map control and threaten the Protoss with some sort of backstab. Now, Sharp, he doesn't have any more vultures on the way, so maybe he didn't end up getting those mines. He's got 2 tanks out here in the front. He might instead be going for something like a speed upgrade here. He's already seen the number of Dragoons, and he saw in the main base that there was no Citadel or anything like that. Got that full scout, remember, before, earlier. That means that he's not afraid of DT right now. And it's just going to be a robo follow-up here for YSC. So it's very nice for Sharp, able to skip that early engineering bay. Gonna come out here, get some mines. Oh man, that really hurts for Sharp. Losing that second vulture as well, with only getting a single mine down, that's pretty darn painful. A lot of the value that you get out of those vultures is the mines being placed around the map, just for scouting information, as well as for potential pickoffs on things like Dragoons, Zealots, and even sometimes Reavers. So that's pretty harsh. That's pretty rough there for Sharp. Now Sharp does have his turret ring started here. He's got a turret in the natural base. He's ready for that shuttle to come across the map here. YSC moving into position at the front. Might end up taking a mine hit. Oh man, those Dragoons are pathing perfectly right now. 2 mines on top of this ramp. Sharp ready for that probe transfer when it does come. I don't think that will be on the way here for YSC, however. Probably just going to send a Dragoon and a Observer to clean that out. Taking quite a bit of damage on this barracks. He wants to move out and actually prevent that from going down. Setting up his tanks. Ooh, pushing back those Dragoons into a already prepared mine there. A nice move by Sharp to force a kill on one of those Dragoons. And he's going to try and take his expansion on location here at the 3rd base on a very low number of units with only 2 factories producing right now. This is a little bit illegal here, I feel. I'm not sure if Sharp can actually get away with this. He's going to try it, though, grabbing that 3rd base right in the face of YSC, with all his Dragoons just slightly north of that. We'll see if he decides to retaliate here. He's so far just saturating his 3rd base, getting his gateways up here. It looks like he hasn't gone for any sort of Reaver play. Instead, just sitting at home with a ton of Dragoons and those observers out on the map. Okay, we've got the shuttle. Is there a Reaver here? I think it might just be a few Zealots, and we'll see if he's actually able to break this. Here he comes, dropping out the Zealots right on top of these units. Mine? Oh, the mine goes in the opposite direction, heads out and kills that Dragoon, and absolutely wrecks this play. Damn. That was so one-sided there. Sharp just crushed that bust attempt there from YSC. If that mine had moved in the opposite direction, it gone to the right on top of the Zealot instead of to the left, he might have been able to just crush through that, but the aggro there, catching onto that Dragoon first, and it darts out, deals a ton of damage to those Dragoons, and forces YSC back. Bit of a tense moment there, but now Sharp is secure here on his 3 bases. He's booming up into a huge factory count. I don't see a armory on the side of Sharp, unless I missed it there behind the minerals or something like that. But without the armory, that means that Sharp is gonna have to initiate a huge attack here unless he fall behind in the late game. Okay, he's got +1 at least, but does he have that all-important Stargate and science facility? I'm not sure. And there's that armory. Researching +1. Still not seeing a starport here. Not seeing a science facility either. So it's just going to be one massive timing from Sharp. +1/+1 will be finishing up shortly. And that will be the moment. That will be the time where Sharp is going to have to make this game work. A mine connects there on one of those Dragoons, and a couple more stray Dragoons here to the north side get picked off. Already Sharp just about on top of this third base. Is getting himself into a really nice position here outside the third. Sieging up on that low ground. Very difficult to break this location. Not really much area for turrets to be built, unfortunately for him, but that is also a very tough location to actually break through. Here comes the Zealots. YSC gonna try it. Can he actually make his way through this? Pulling back some of the Zealots in order to start the second attack here. A lot of vultures coming through the center of the map. Gonna try to make their way into that natural, but gets blocked off with some additional pylons. Some emergency pylons gonna save the day for now. Big surround here with the Zealots running up, but the vultures just annihilate those Zealots. And the Dragoons getting on top of some of these tanks. He's got to focus these tanks down as much as possible. Try to pick off every single one of them. And the vultures now going to slide up here into the third base. YSE losing his probes. 3 more vultures down here on the bottom side. Going to be picking off as many as they can. GG. Sharp takes that game. YSE tapping out there. Wow, what a crisp timing from Sharp. He just moved out brazenly, taking that third base and then initiating that giant +1/+1 attack. Really, really clean and straightforward play by Sharp. I mean, really living up to his namesake there. Clean and sharp play from him today. Is looking very, very good. Now he's going to go up against either Hero or Soma. We'll see if he can do what he just did to both Miso and YSC against one of these two monstrous Zerg players. That's coming up next, guys. Okay, YSC has been eliminated. Now we're on to Sharp versus Soma. The most aggressive Zerg player against the most aggressive Terran player, I think, is down for both their races. Absolute, insanely aggressive. So we'll see how this ends up going down. Maybe the only person who comes close, I guess, would be Rush. Rush also a very aggressive Terran player, but Sharp is kind of next level in how crazy his aggression is overall. And we'll see if Soma can match that, if he can take away the initiative here from Sharp and just drive him into the ground with his Mutalisk play. I think that's pretty likely. Unless Sharp has some sort of interesting build to bring out here, maybe a Valkyrie build or something like that. I don't think that he's capable of defending against what Soma can bring in terms of a 2 Hachimura play. He is just incredibly strong. Now, this is cross-map positions here. It's a very large map as well, so that may play a factor. It's going to slow down the reinforcement waves of Mutalisk as they come across the map. As I'm already assuming that Soma is going to go for 2 Hachimura. That's the way it's looking right now, but honestly, that's just what he's known for. That's what he's strongest with, so I'm thinking that's most likely what we're going to see out of him here. Blocking this SCV, not allowing it into the main. Some good play. Sending those links across the map here. Someone going to be looking and immediately pulling back from that natural as he finds the bunker is already completed from Sharp. The command center on the way spots that as well. Knows exactly what he's up against here. And I think he should be feeling fine right now. Gas on the way. Well, we have a engineering bay here. There is that possibility. Early +1 build out of Sharp is always a possible course of action here. Engineering bay, early +1 it will be. So we're gonna have more of kind of what I was afraid of here for Sharp. Is gonna be Sharp playing pretty defensively here in the early game, trying to build up into a later stim, a later range, and then a later kind of push out from him, where he's gonna have to defend quite a bit against the 2-hatch Muta of Soma here in the early game. It's gonna be tough for him. Not gonna sugarcoat it here, guys. This is gonna be a difficult defense for Sharp. Now, I'm not too sure about the turret positioning on this map, whether it's really hard or not too bad here. I haven't played Terran on this map yet, but just looking at it, the way that it's shaped, I think it shouldn't be too bad. We don't have the minerals right up against a wall there. The wall is kind of off to the right-hand side. So, with quite a bit of room to the right-hand side as well for additional turrets to be added on, I think it should be okay. I don't think he should have too much of a trouble actually placing those turrets. Now, defending the turrets and keeping them alive is going to be another story here. Third base is coming up from Soma, so he does have a transitional plan here eventually. We'll see how much he commits to the Mutalisk tech, though. Waiting on a couple of overlords here to pop. Let's start that Mutalisk production. Where you can see not all the larvae are sitting here waiting, ready to go as the Spire finishes there. So maybe adding on a few more drones, just sneaking a drone here and there, trying to up that econ just a little bit more at the expense of the Mutalisk timing here, slowing that down a little bit. You can see just 3 Mutas coming across the map, 4th one on the way too, but not quite as strong as the usual 6 immediately upon the finishing of the Spire, but that's fine. He's just going to dribble the Mutalisk in here. Little bit by little, this Mutalisk force will grow. He's going to start to look for kills on Marines here. Not quite enough Mutas there to get the one shot on the Marine just yet. And Sharp is already out on the map. He can't possibly have range just yet, I don't think. Range should be on the way right now, and kind of looks like no range done there on those Marines. Moving out for the pressure right now. Hoping to force Soma to engage with the Marine forces rather than dive into the natural or main. Range should be finishing up here momentarily. Third gas starting to mine now for Soma. Will we see a Hydralisk Den plus Queen's Nest being dropped here soon? I think right now the pressure is a little bit too high. Someone will have to continuously build the Mutalisk and Lings here. Pretty good trades so far from Sharp. Dealing a lot of damage to these Mutas. Ooh, bit of a mistake there from Soma. Picks off the Firebat, however. It's going to make the Lings much more effective. He should decide to dive in with those Marines and Mutas at the same time. Could potentially pick off this Marine Medic force. Still don't see any additional tech buildings being added on yet. Marine heading down to the bottom center, but won't find any of these any additional bays. There we go. Diving forward, picks off the most of these Marines here, but the medics do manage to survive. Okay, fall back and greet the reinforcement Marine wave. Fall back towards the main now that +1 for those Mulas is done, and there it is, the Hydralisk Queen popping down at the same time there. Just as soon as Sharp is forced back into his main base, those two buildings will come down. And he does see that as well, so that's a big scout for Sharp, able to find that base and those tech structures going down. He knows the follow-up here. He knows that there's going to be Lurker and Defiler coming out quickly and assaulting his natural. At least that's kind of what you can assume here. Unless we've got a evolution chamber coming down somewhere on the map, either in the natural base or the third. You really do need those carapace upgrades if you want to take this into a long game against Terran. It's 100% necessary. But if you want to just try to get your Defiler out as quickly as possible, get some Lurkers, and go and kill your opponent, then it's totally fine to skip over those carapace upgrades. It is kind of a risky play, though. You don't know if you can actually get in there and deal that damage before the Science Vessels start to come out in high enough numbers to irradiate down all of your Defilers before they actually get over towards the natural. So this is a high-risk, high-reward play. Another hatchery coming down here. The Lurkers are being morphed, but it's a little bit late right now. He's gonna have to fight here with these mutas, otherwise he might end up dying. Fight with the reinforcements here first, picking off some of those Marines, but Marines diving forward here, looking for a run-by onto these Lurkers. This is a very dangerous moment here for both players. There's the Lurkers all burrowing at the same time. He picks off two of them right away. The third and fourth go down as well in rapid succession. The mutas will be able to clean up all of these Marine medic. So overall, I'm not sure exactly who comes out ahead in that situation. 4 Lurkers were lost and a bunch of Mutalisks went down. But Soma does survive. He actually has an evolution chamber there as well. So he will be getting his carapace upgrades. He will be setting himself up for a later game here. Defending on the ramp up at the third base, trying to secure that fourth. This is the overall plan for Soma here. And Sharp, no sign of trying to take a third just yet. He's still gathering up his forces here. Has added on a bunch more barracks. He's got double vessel production. Floating out that factory. Gonna get some vision on the map. Heading down towards the natural once again. There's no medics with this army except for a few that are trailing behind there. On the backside, no Lurkers in this location just yet. I don't see dropships coming out either, so Sharp looks like he's going to go for the more conservative play. Take his third base, possibly even take the fourth as well at the same time. And continuously get value out of these science vessels by irradiating over and over again on some of these high value units. The mutas are going to take some of those irradiates down. There we go. Dropships popping out. That's a bit more like the Sharp that we know. Going for some drops here. Gonna try and make things crazy. Gonna get aggressive. Because I couldn't swear if I was watching this game and the names were blocked, I could have imagined than it was anyone else, any of these other Terran players, maybe even a Light or a Rush or something like that, but with the dropships popping out, 4 drops on the way. Some of the other Terran players do bring out stuff like this, but this is very sharp-esque. Third starport coming down. He's going to possibly continue with the dropship production. You can't really afford 3 science vessel production on just 2 starports there. It's really each gas that you have is just it's gonna allow you to pump off of 1 additional starport there. So that's kind of the basic rule of thumb. Now the dropships are coming down here towards the bottom of the map. They're coming down towards the main. These 4 drops are gonna fly in here in just another second. We do have 4 Scourge ready to go. Here they come. One of the dropships gets taken out instantly. Second dropship dies as well. That is a lot of lost Marines in the initial wave, but maybe he can make a lot of damage happen here. Wasn't not expecting 4 dropships, so someone gonna take a lot of damage here. He loses the Spire already. That's a great pick off. Ooh, Evo Chamber goes down as well. That is massive. And spawning pool getting low here. I think he might be able to pick off that spawning pool. And with the Spire down and the spawning pool down, it's going to be very tough to deal with the next wave of dropships that comes out here from Sharp. He's going to be heading up towards the top right, bringing some more dropships along that's just been produced. He's got the Ultralisk Cavern on the way here, but what you see is what you get in terms of Scourge. He's got basically none left, and that means it'll be very hard to deny these dropships. Actually, dropships heading down towards the main once again. I'm surprised about that. Thought we would see some heading into the natural instead, or into the third base instead, excuse me. 2 dropships heading down there. Dropship coming into the main once again. Let's see it. A lot of damage can go down here. What will he focus? Gonna go for the Evo Chamber and the Defiler Mound. Spire is under threat once again. Could end up losing that for a second time. There it is. Spire dies. Evo Chamber gonna go down. Defiler Mound falls as well. Beautiful pickoffs there from Sharp. No scan. No scan. Okay. Loses the rest of those Marines, but wow, those did a great job. And the 2 dropships managed to slip out once again. 4th base is being saturated now for Sharp. Sharp trying to run by and make things crazy, getting into some decent locations here around the mineral patches. But the 4th gas is mining right now for Soma. 2, oh my gosh, 2 battle cruisers coming in here, and they're gonna pick off the Scourge for his opponent, going after that Nidus network as well, running around with the Marines. This is getting to be too much. +2 armor is done, but he can start to pick off the Ultralisk Cavern. He can go after that Evo Chamber again. He can kill some more drones, and this is not going to stop. More dropships are going to be on the way here. He's going to continue to put pressure on in that 3rd base. There's not enough production, I think, up here to hold on. Okay, he does have another Nidus network. I'm not sure if that is actually connected down to the bottom right, but it's safe to assume that it is. And that he should be able to get enough units up here to clean out this wave of the attack. However, that Spire being down is really hurting him right now. He would love to have a bunch of Scourge pop out right now. You can see he's got 1,600 gas banked up. Easy to produce plenty of Scourge right now. If only he had saved that Spire earlier. Diving down here into the natural. He's going to pick off these 2 sunken colonies. There's no lurkers here, and GG! Oh my goodness, Sharp just pouring on the pressure that game. Constant drops. Picking up the Spire was massive, not allowing Soma to stabilize by just building a bunch of Scourge and holding off the drops, killing the battle cruisers and the like was amazing. Absolutely amazing job by Sharp. Picks off another player here. That's a triple kill. And I said it before, I'm not sure if he could actually do the same what he did to Miso and YSC to either of these two players, Hero or Soma, but he did it, man. He really did it there. Absolutely breathtaking play there with the aggression. Out-aggressing the most aggressive Zerg player on the planet. Very impressive play. Next, we're going to have Sharp versus Best, the final Protoss player that we have in this week of KCM. Protoss might be going out first, guys. Let's find out in that next game. Well, gotta say, Sharp really impressing me here today. He's going up next against Best. Best up here in the top left-hand corner. We are on Good Night here. Vertical spawns. Got a probe coming into the base, gets that first scout. We'll start the harassment here, and yeah, I'm not gonna underestimate Sharp at all here now. This guy has really proven me and everybody else wrong here. He's definitely capable of taking down some extremely strong opponents. Oh, that's a bit annoying there. This SCV moving around quite a bit here and constantly in the wrong direction to actually be protected by the second SCV. Does manage to get that barracks down though. And the Zealot is going to come across the map for a bit of that harassment. Getting his barracks plus supply depot set up here. Sharp should be fine. He's only mining gas with one SCV, which indicates for sure he's going to be throwing down a command center here momentarily. That the factory has been placed. It's going to remain on one single SCV on gas there, build up that mineral count, and eventually get into that CC. So here's that first Zealot. The micro begins. Does get one shot off on the Marine there, bringing that health down. Does take 3 hits. Or 2 hits from the Zealot, 2 hits from the Probe to finish off that Marine, and will be pushed back now. So some good micro there from Sharp. Good decision making from Best as well, just losing that shield, getting a little damage done, but not losing either of those 2 units. Can be very useful there in the mid game, especially if we see a early robotics facility coming out here. If we get into a Reaver, it's very nice to have that first Zealot still alive. Can be paired with the Reaver very nicely. Can drop that out and harass those Zealot or harass those Marines. You can fight with the SCVs, deal extra damage. Killing off that scouting SCV for now. Keeping tabs on these Marines. 4 Marines are moving out right now. Full pull. Wow, and I think that Best is going to see the pull of the SCVs there. The vision of the probe still lasts a little bit after the probe dies, so I think he knows this is coming. This is a very interesting attack here. We didn't have a Nexus first. Instead, Gateway first there, but he's still going to pull the workers here. This is kind of rare to see. And it's going to force Best out of the way. Both of the Dragoons have kind of evacuated to the right-hand side here, and now they're going to be fighting without too many SCVs in the battle here. I think that these Dragoons can do very well. He hasn't picked off that. Okay, he does get the Vulture now. One of the Dragoons is going to go down. He's fighting with the probes here, and pretty much a perfect hold overall from Best. Sharp with the sort of unorthodox worker pull there, trying to win the game outright here, but ends up losing all of his Vultures, his Marines, and a bunch of his SCVs end up going down. Only a few probes were killed, I think, during all of that. 1 Dragoon, and overall Best in a really good spot here. I don't know what exactly triggered Sharp to go for that attack. It didn't seem to be well thought out. He didn't have mines with it. He didn't have speed or anything like that. He was just relying on the muscle of those SCVs to push his way through. Perhaps he wanted to trap those Dragoons in the natural, but Best very smartly pulling them out to the right-hand side there, getting them out of the way of the SCVs, not allowing the SCVs to get a surround or anything like that, and takes care of that very nicely. So a great hold from Best. Not sure where Sharp can go from here. He doesn't have the CC down yet, and I still don't see his CC. He's actually got 2 factories, and he's still producing off of both of those, so feels like a 2-fact follow-up will be what Sharp decides to go for. Nothing behind this. So this is do or die here for Sharp right now, and as long as Best continues to produce Dragoons, as long as he doesn't get the supply blocked or anything like that, and micros properly here during this fight, I think he should win easily from this high ground. It'll be very, very difficult for Sharp to get up here, but we'll see what he can do. It's all going to come down to the micro here. The mines will be very, very important. He's pulling the Dragoons down onto the low ground here, and he might use this opportunity to get up onto the high ground. He's trying for it. Gets one. Oh, the speed just barely finishes up here as the attack commences. Getting some lines down on top of this, but there's too many Dragoons. He's going to dive here onto one of the tanks. One of the tanks does go down, and there's still 5, 6 Dragoons left over, trying to slip by with the Vultures. Does manage to get 2 up into the ramp. Laying some mines here. You might be able to get a few probes, but there is a observer here, and these Vultures are very low HP. So this is going to go down, and the aggression here will have to end. Sharp not going to get much done. Ah, that mine got picked off as well. GG. Oh, well. The aggression there from Sharp not really paying off in that final game. Best manages to take him out. And that looked, I mean, it looked a little bit scary there for a second, but I don't know, it didn't really make a lot of sense considering the build from Protoss to do a full SCV pull like that after getting attacked by that Zealot. He didn't even kill the Zealot either. A lot of things didn't make sense in that game. Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead on to the next one. It's going to be Best versus Hero. Let's start that one off. Alright, our next game, Best versus Hero. Hero spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner. Best in the top right. He's starting off with a Forge first. We'll be getting down his Nexus here momentarily. We've got a overpull from Hero. He's, oh, just about to lose this drone. Ooh, just barely able to keep that alive. And a pylon block here at the natural. Going to slow down that hatchery take here just a little bit. It's actually sending a drone up to the hatch, or up to the third base location here. That's right in between Best base and Hero's base, which is a little bit crazy. We rarely ever see the Zerg player expanding towards the Protoss, and I think that's because he didn't actually know where Best was when he sent out this drone. Now he's actually seen the Forge here in this location, and he's sending his Zerglings across the map, but I don't think they can get in here and actually do anything. We've got probes here in the natural, blocking. He's going to throw down an extra pylon here just to make sure. Attacking that with the 2 probes is going to mean those probes will not move when Lings begin to attack them. Kind of like a makeshift hold position move there for the probes. Still has his Probo Life here inside the Zerg base as well, checking everything out, and the Lings are just going to have to retreat home. So far, not a great start here for Hero. Best kind of controlling the pace of this game, keeping Hero on the back foot, and forcing him to throw down that third base in a kind of an awkward position here. Any sort of Zealot timing attack is going to come incredibly fast to that third base, so Hero will have to account for that sort of close positioning here, and looks like he will be throwing down a Hydralisk Den. That's going to be his answer. In this situation where you're so incredibly close to your opponent with your third base, you might as well go for a Hydra's bust. The Hydras are going to arrive just that much quicker. So it will be a Hydralisk bust here. There's not a whole lot of space for the cannons, but I think there's enough as long as Best gets those cannons started at an early enough time. I think he can fit at least 5-6 cannons behind that wall. Second pylon there next to the Nexus is going to provide that extra energy as well. Secondary forge. Oh no, is that a second forge? No, it's a Stargate. Thought they clicked that and I saw forge at the bottom, but that is a Stargate coming up there. +1 in the front. I think at least Hero should be able to get this +1 with the Hydralisk attack. And we'll see if he wants to all in from that, or if he wants to just drone up afterwards. Definitely is a possibility here. Definitely is a reasonable strategy. Just grab that forge and back off. First Hydras are being produced now. 2 more cannons on the way, so suspecting something could be going down here. Best getting double cannon. That's not very common, but I think he's reading the situation properly, that most likely Hero will want to try this type of play with the positioning of that third hatch. He sees the first Hydralisk, and he's going to be confirmed in his ideas here, adding on more cannons as well. Possible that Hero can just pick off that first cannon though at the bottom side. As long as he can pick off that cannon on the bottom, he can absolutely get that forge with some good positioning and the Hydralisk range finishing up. Looking here to pick off that first cannon. Can he get it? Let's see here in a moment. Getting in position with the range finishing up here soon. Can he actually just hit that with range? I think maybe he can. The cannon positioning is really good, but yeah, he is going to be able to get that. That's a really big win here for Hero to get that +1 upgrade cancelled. I don't see another forge from Best. He must be producing one somewhere in the main. Gonna get the gateway as well. And with the gateway and the forge falling, everything's gonna be interrupted here for quite a while. The upgrades have been interrupted. The Zealot production has been interrupted as well. A lot of cannons have been built. He's literally has no gateways right now, so he's not able to actually make any attacking units besides these Corsairs. Corsairs going in for some kills here on the Overlords. Looks like they might get 1 or 2. 2 Overlords go down. Going for the third. Very nice micro here from Best. He picks off 3 Overlords right at the time where this is supposed to be drone time for Hero. This is where he doesn't have any pressure on him, where the Zealots have to stay back home, and there's an ability to just drone up here that's being kind of nerfed by those Overlord kills, and that means he's not going to have the same number of drones that he would have had otherwise. He's going to have to switch into Hydralisk production here soon as the Zealot speed finishes up and the Zealot numbers start to grow. He'll definitely have to switch into some unit production shortly. There we go, another round of drones here. Rounding out that economy, but you can see the Zealots are ready to aggress out on the map now. And Hero absolutely has to respect this. He has to be producing Hydralisk at this point. And I know it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but just those few Overlord kills at that particular time really throws a wrench into things. If you produce too many drones here after those replacement Overlords popped, he could be in a lot of trouble. Going for the drones here. No, actually pulling back, gonna surround these Hydralisks from the left side. This could be a breaking moment for Hero here, as he's losing Overlords at the same time as fighting with these Hydras against the Zealots. Some of the Zealots are going to break off here. Hero realizing he's going to lose control of this base, going to pull away the drones. No, he's actually fighting with the drones. A lot of drones are going to go down here. And this is just pandemonium for Hero. I gotta say, it had to be that Overlord pickoff that really messed up Hero's build here. He absolutely should have had enough to hold off against this, but he just did not, and that is basically game here. So much damage has been done. The rallies are so short here for Best to get over to this third base. He's going to be pouring down more and more Zealots. He's got DTs on the way as well. Lurker is being produced, but that Lurker egg could be killed here if he focuses it down with the DT. Will he? No, he's not, but Overlords have been killed here in the natural. Okay, we've got 2 Overlords left. DT is sneaking in here. Oh, is he going to stop it? Oh, man. Just barely sneaking by, but it looks like Hero will be able to stop this DT. It may end up getting just a couple of kills here. 2, 3. 3 kills go down. And Hero is going to go back to droning now. But he is in a desperate situation. He finally does have some lurkers out. We've got the robotics facility on the way now. So still a bit of time where Bez is not able to get out and actually deal any damage with this attack. As long as there's lurkers here, it's not going to be a possibility. But Bez has snuck a bunch of Zealots out on the map. And Hero's going for the contain. This could be really bad for Hero, who's got most of his units over there at the natural of this Protoss player. He's not expecting this attack here. He thinks that he should be in a good defensive position with the lurkers and no observers out on the map, but unfortunately, okay, lurker eggs on the ramp. Zealot's dealing a lot of damage to his hatchery as well. He could try to focus this down. No, is going to fight, pick off some of these drones as well. Hydras make their way down into this location, and he does pick off these Zealots finally. However, that was a great move from Baz. It bought him a lot of time. You saw that Hero was sending a bunch of units up towards that natural. He was getting ready to set up lurkers in that location. He was getting ready to contain Best there, but Best, he gets out with a probe as well. Look at this hidden base over on the center left. Getting that hidden base and that run by with the Zealots bought him a ton of time to get his robotics facility up, to get that base out on the map as well. Now he's going to have some observers popping here in just another few seconds. He's got some Dragoons already out, pumping those up as well. He's got the Templars coming. And as long as Hero doesn't find this base, he is in a great position, a stellar position here. Ooh, a drop might be coming through though. This is massive. Loading up all these units. I think he's going to wait until the Protoss moves out on the map, and he's going to just go for the drop here. Ooh, 2 Corsairs are in a great spot to start to deal damage to these Overlords. I don't think they can pick them off in time, though. Hero just waiting until all of these units are out on the map. Now he's going in for it. Lurkers being dropped out here on top of these gateways, but 2 Storms, 2 Templar. Oh, everything getting massacred here inside the Protoss base. Those Storms were insane, dealing a crazy amount of damage. He does manage to unload quite a few Hydras, though, and is dealing some damage to these gateways, most of which are now unpowered, I believe. Final storm does come down. He picks off the last of these Hydras. Some lurker drops coming up as well. Can he actually annihilate these probes? Beautiful probe kills there. But now he's got to be a little suspicious. There's not as many probes here as you might expect. A lot of them have been transferred out to that third base. He doesn't know about that yet, but he might be kind of suspicious. Ooh, and one last shot there, dealing a lot of damage to that probe line. But it doesn't really matter at this point. Best is that third base up and running. He's got 3 Nexuses pumping away, building up that probe count. His big army is out on the map now, roaming around. He's kind of spread out at the moment. He needs to get all of those forces together. We'll lose a Dragoon for being a little bit split up. 4th base is down and mining at the bottom center here for Hero, but I don't think he knows about this 3rd base just yet. Hasn't been scouted yet. He has Overlord speed, and there are no Corsairs left on the map, so I'm surprised not just spreading them out everywhere, looking at every location. It's absolutely something I've learned to do from the ladder. Protoss players always sneaking hidden bases, so as soon as you've got free reign with those Overlords, just send them out everywhere. Look at every single base. Oh, crystal, what the heck? Does that actually stay there forever? How do you get rid of that that crystal formation or whatever it's called? That's interesting. I didn't know about that feature of the map. There's actually still that crystal there, and perhaps that stops you from actually taking the main bases, the other main bases. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe you can actually kill that thing. That was something that I had no idea about. I've never seen. Most of the games that we have on this map end really, really quickly for whatever reason. But it seems like this game is going to go on for quite a bit longer. Coming through the lack of vision area here, the vision blockers. And Hero will have to retreat, pulling back all of his Hydra. 4th base on the way for Best. No 5th in sight yet for Hero, but a ton of lurkers coming up. He's got his upgrades coming here. Plenty of hatches out on the map. We're getting into a serious PvZ macro game. DT sneaking around the outside, looking for some kills at that 4th. No gas is being taken here just yet, but it looks like Hero's on top of this. Gonna deal with that DT, nicely done. Best's gonna push forward. The ramp here to the right is a little bit tiny. I don't know if Best actually wants to shove his army up there. Yeah, look at that. Lurkers and Sunkens on high ground, always a tough proposition there for the Protoss player. That single observer just barely manages to stay alive. Overlord going down there, a little bit annoying. Fight here in the middle. That gas guys are kind of saving the Hydras there. They sort of split up and spread out to get around that gas geyser, and the storm ended up not dealing nearly as much damage as it could have. 5 on the way, and dangerously close to this base here on the left side. He still doesn't know about this. Shocked that Hero still hasn't scouted this location. He's gonna take a fight. Try to pick off as many Templar as he can. Actually, it's 3 temps. Hopefully he moves to the left. Just send to the left. Oh, all the Hydras coming just straight down the map here, and he still doesn't know about this base. Oh, what a clutch hidden base for Best. This is probably going to end up winning him the game here, because Hero has no idea that his opponent is on even bases, and fighting from even bases here, Best is going to be feeling great. Absolutely great. He's got a huge supply. He's going to take a fight here with the Hydra Ling Lurker army. Crackling upgrade is not quite done yet. I think the Hive is just finishing up now, engaging with these lurkers. Not a lot of support for these lurkers at the moment. He's picking off a lot of reinforcements, though. All of these Templar going down on the top side here, but losing the majority of his lurkers, just a pure Dragoon attacking. Finally gonna come up to support. Storm's going down there. Very nice Storm holding there from Best. A lot of discipline from him, just keeping those Storms until all of the lurkers are dead. When the Hydras dive forward, storming all of those units, but his army is now starting to get surrounded, and he will have to back away. Good amount of Hydras come out here, and a long back and forth between these two massive armies, and finally it looks like Hero starts to come out on top. But look at these reinforcement waves from Best, pouring the Dragoons forward. He's got so much here. That's really a result of keeping that fourth base up for so long. That base in the center left has been so beneficial to Best throughout this game. He's just going to be able to overwhelm this Zerg here. Cracklings are finally coming out, but GG is called, and Best takes another game. Man, Hero is going to be so salty when he finds out about that hidden base in the center left. He absolutely could have killed that multiple times throughout this game. And he just gets overwhelmed, man. Completely overwhelmed because of that extra base. What a disappointment there for Hero. And the Zerg goes out first. Quite the upset there. Zerg getting shut down, and now it's just up to Best. He's got a long way to go. Still 2 Terran players left to fight. Rush and JYJ. We'll see who's gonna be up first. It's coming up next. Hey, what's up everybody? SayNSC here. Just a big announcement. I'm gonna be moving back to Canada soon. I've been living here in Japan for a little over 2 years now. But I think it's time to head on back home, hang out for a bit. It's not really possible to just do, a little short vacation or anything like that, just with the current pandemic and all that shit. So we're gonna go back, hang out. Emil has a year visa, so she's gonna come and work. I'm gonna get a new job in Canada. We're gonna hang out for about a year, and then we'll see what happens. So to sort of celebrate my last few days here in Japan, I'm actually leaving on October 15th, so only in about 7 days from now, I'm gonna eat this. It's called kaki. It's a persimmon in English. Just gonna introduce it to you guys. This is the sort of best food, or the typical food here in Aichi, Gifu area. I've never seen one of these before I came to Japan, but here it is. I've had it quite a lot. A lot of people have given it to me. I just bought this at the grocery store, though, and I'm going to eat it and tell you about it. And anyway. Okay, here it is. Once it's been kind of cut up, and you take the little green center part off. Looks kind of like this. Most of the Japanese, they like to take off the peel as well. It's not really easy to just peel it off. You can't just pull it off like an orange or anything like that, but you can just kind of like shave it with a knife, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to eat it. It's like this, kind of like an apple, I guess. Tastes like something between it's like apple and kind of like pear, and I don't really know, something like kind of want to say pumpkin, but I'm not really sure. Maybe because it's so orange. I don't know. It's just coming into my mind. So, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty sweet, and it's not. I don't know if it's even really a fruit, but the texture is definitely like an apple. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Let's get back to the games. Thanks for watching. Alright, Rush going to be that next Terran player, fighting up against Best here. Man, still thinking about that last game a little bit. I'm sure Hero is pretty pissed that he missed that hidden expansion. I definitely would be. I've had that experience so many times on ladder. It's like, where are you getting all these units, man? How come he has so much? Am I just trash? Or is this guy's macro like a god, or what's going on here? And turns out, oh, he just had another base that was unscouted. Very frustrating stuff. But credit where credit is due. It was a good move by Best, bringing out the in-buy there as Hero was getting ready to go for that contain. He was trying to get those lurkers out in front of the base. Best gets out with that run-by, and during the chaos, he gets a third base down, hidden third base. Smart stuff. Very smart stuff. And that's kind of, I mean, if you can win like that, more power to you, man. Got another Zealot coming across the map here. Similar sort of build to what Best did against Sharp in that previous PVT. And Sharp going for the same build, or excuse me, Rush going for the same build as Sharp as well. He's getting that early factory out here. And hopefully we're going to see a expansion out of Rush. I don't want to see another 2-fact play, try to beat Best right away here or anything like that. He's just going to push this Zealot away for now. I don't see that probe anymore, so perhaps that probe went down inside the main of Rush. This SCV going to meet the same fate. Kicked off in his prime. Command center. No 2-fact play here from Rush today. Do like to see that. Well, first Vulture out on the map. Going to be a Vulture expand here from good old Rush. Trying to pick off this Vulture, but of course. Dragoon comes to the defense. Ooh, Citadel. Alright, we're going to have a DT here. No range coming. Oh, Best. DT drop. Alright, DT drop versus Rush. A lot of space here for that DT drop to come in, so that could be highly effective. Now, Rush is going for a starport right away here, so single factory, expand into starport. We'll see if he gets either an academy or a engineering bay here. I'm leaning towards an engineering bay just because you're not going to have a whole lot of gas building this control tower. You're building tanks, you're building wraiths, or dropships, either one. I think he might go for an engineering bay. We'll see, though. If he skips over the detection completely, he could just die outright here. Would be very unfortunate to see. Now, where's... I still don't see an engineering bay or an academy. He's leaving some mines in his base, so he's aware. Drop could be coming from Best, at least getting some preparation in. But I don't think it's going to be enough. If control is good here from Best, he can just drop those DTs and pick them up again if a mine pops up. They don't need to take any damage from those mines. And it's a dropship coming across the map, so these two are going to be dealing damage in each other's main at the same time. The shuttle going just between the vision here. Can he actually see this? No, no vision here for Rush. He doesn't see the shuttle. The dropship gonna come in here, deal some damage, but I think much more damage will be done to the economy of Rush here with this drop, the DT drop in the main. We'll see how it goes. Here comes that first DT, gonna drop off here in the main. Starts to go to work on these SCVs. There's no scanner at all. I don't even see an academy. I don't see an NG bay either. So completely... Oh, wait, there is an engineering bay. Engineering bay is there. Gonna run over this other mine. Nicely done. Picks off one of those DTs. So only a single DT left here. He's gonna be able to throw down mines. He's gonna be able to get up a turret here eventually. It might take some time, but a Wraith pops out. There we go. And he can drive this away. So a pretty decent hold here overall by Rush. However, he's not mining here in his main for quite a long time. This DT is still dealing damage over at that natural, so, or at that main, excuse me. And Best is about to take his third base. Oh, mine. Oh, mine. No can do. It's gonna get this. It's gonna get that supply depot as well. Gonna go for a second supply depot. Ooh, that's quite a lot of damage. All right, looks like that second supply depot will end up going down. DT's still denying mining here as well. Another mine placed down here. Can he actually hit this? Oh, 22 HP. Oh. Great control there from Best. Kills another supply. Gonna work on this third one as well. Building so many turrets here. Oh, actually, those are more supply depots. Turrets have been constructed, but not close enough to actually pick off this DT. Oh, possibly another drop coming through here. Rush getting a few more probes, but again, way in favor of Best here. Finally, that scan does come down. He deals with that DT. Oh, dropship does manage to sneak out. Not bad, not bad for Rush. Keeping that dropship alive means you'll be able to continue to deal damage with that. A few more gateways coming up here in the main, and let's take a look at where we're all overall. The totality of this game. We've got a third base coming up for Best. Slightly ahead in supply here. Doesn't have too much tech besides this Templar archive, so we're probably going to see some Templar drops here relatively soon. In the main base of Rush, of course, we do have that Starport. We should have a science facility coming up shortly as well. His upgrades were not slowed down here during all of this harassment. The armory luckily was in the natural, though didn't end up losing that. And he should be able to hit some sort of good timing here with the +2 upgrade. We'll see if that includes a third base or not. But for now, I'm going to continue this harassment. More vultures here into the main, trying to get that extra damage. Nice pylon wall being thrown down by Best, but still more probes here in the natural base are going to go down. That is quite a lot of probe damage. I'm going to swing back around here, get into the main once again. More probe, nicely done. Rush getting quite a bit done with these few vultures and the continuous drops there. I think his dropship actually managed to escape once again. I might be wrong about that, but there it is. Okay, it did manage to make it out. He's gonna pick up some more vultures and continue this play. Really being so tenacious with this over and over and over again, dropping this in. I think this is the third time already, maybe even the fourth. So trying to make back those losses there in the early game. He's lost a lot of that mining timing, lost a lot of workers, but is starting to even things out. The supply, you can see, is very, very close right now. It's going to sneak in here with a couple more speed vultures. Only a single cannon there, so he can pick off a few more probes. One last probe there, nicely done. And back at home, no third base just yet on the way here for Rush. He's actually adding on a bunch more factories here, and it appears to be a 2-base timing attack that will come from Rush shortly here. I would say probably around 150 supplies when he's going to move out. That +2 upgrade should be finished. And he'll hit that timing as best he can. Try to take this high ground. Try to kill this third base. See where Best decides to take this. Is he going to add on a second robotics facility here? Go fully into the shuttle play. That can be a really strong play against a 2-base timing like this. Just having a bunch of shuttles can really shut down the medium-sized army in the mid-game there. The 2-base powered army rarely survive and actually bust through a Protoss player with a bunch of shuttles. Zealots loaded up, just dropping them all over the Terran army. So we'll see if that's the play here for Best. I don't really see any additional shuttles out. He should have, okay, we got one. He should have some Templar with Storm. That's a lot of Zealots. Rush is slowly moving forward here. It looks like towards his third base, though. He doesn't have a command center just yet. At least not one that I've seen. He's taking this position here. It looks like he's going to have to weather this attack. Best coming through with a lot of Zealots. Many of the Zealots getting clumped up behind, though. Making their way through. There's the Storm. Oh my goodness, that is a ton of Storm. Great Storms there on all of these tanks. Still a good chunk of Zealots to follow this up as well. To dive forward here, try to get on top of these tanks, focusing down as many as he can here. Wow, just pouring through with these Zealots. That is an insane army, just crushing this tank count. Only 4 tanks left. 4 tanks left here. There's an Archon running up, trying to deal a little bit of extra damage here. One more tank about to die. There we go. Last tank here. More shot. More shot. Oh my god, the final tank goes down. And that could just be the end, guys. All of the tanks that Rush has built out throughout this game were killed off there in one foul swoop. Completely destroys the backbone of the Terran army. This third base trying to come up right now, but it's just going to drop some more Zealots here on top of these tanks. Try to pick them off. Okay, he's going to back off here. Just wait for the reinforcements. Keep those Zealots alive in that dropship. There's no anti-air here to defend these tanks. He's trying to build a turret right now, but only 2 tanks here. So many Dragoons coming up, dropping the Zealot on top of the Vultures there, trying to draw some fire. Gonna pull a mine. Another couple of tanks get set up. And maybe he can actually hold here. This is really close. 4th base on the way for Best. Gonna fall back into a good macro position from here. Rush realizing the final blow is not coming just yet, so sending out some Zealots, or excuse me, sending out some Vultures across the map. Gonna throw down some mines, try to, ooh, that was a nice mine. Setting off a couple of Zealots there. This would be nice too. Whoa, 2 more Dragoons go down. Best running his units right into mines there. +2/+1 is done. Rush keeping up on those upgrades. Should have +3 on the way now. Yes, it is double upgrades there in the natural. No sign of a transition here from Best just yet. We haven't gotten a look at the main base for a while, but this is a ton of pro damage. This is really what Rush needs to do in order to stay in this game. He is going to be on the back foot here for quite a long time as he builds up that tank count once again. Needs to get to at least 12 tanks before he can actually initiate some sort of move out here, which takes a lot of time. You can imagine 2 factories there with the machine shop. They're going to have to pump out 6 tanks each. Takes quite a bit of time. I can't remember how long it takes for a tank to build, but you get the idea. He's going to have to sit back here for quite a long time, and you don't want to allow the Protoss to just do whatever they want on the map during that period. You absolutely have to get out and deal damage with those vultures. Try to set up mines in locations where units are going to get killed. Try to catch transfers of probes. Run in here and there. Get some probe kills as well. All of that is good stuff. Just to limit the ability of the Protoss to build up that army when it's finally time for you to move out, so that you can actually take that fight. Now, Rush is getting close to that time period. Setting up a tank here. Can he get a good shot? Okay, one probe, unfortunate. Does manage to pick up the dropship though, and will manage to run himself out here. Keeps that alive. Quite a dangerous trade there. One probe for almost a tank and a dropship. That would have been very not worth, but he does manage to escape. Looks like the mine will connect. Nope, not quite, but these vultures will be able to overwhelm. Low number of dragoons here on the high ground. Pushes them away. A fifth base on the way now for Best as well. I think that Rush starting to extend out towards the north, maybe looking to snag that fourth base as he pushes out here with the 3-2. That push out should be happening here in just another minute or so as we approach that 160 supply. That's really where Terran can start to come out and fight a 200-200 army of Protoss. Get that Templar. Nicely done. Good pick off there by by Rush. Slowing down the Templar number here, reducing that Templar number as much as possible. Templar are of utmost importance for this composition. You should have some Templar inside that shuttle as well. We need to land some really nice storms here in order to take a good trade against this now 3-2 mech army. A lot of mines underneath these front few tanks. It's making me a little bit worried here. Here comes Bez running into the meat grinder. A lot of tanks behind this. Can he actually get the good storms and mine drag storm on all these front tanks? But the Zealots are gone. Another wave of Zealots running forward here, but getting completely crushed. Vultures out on the map now. Rush is not afraid of being broken here. Instead, he's more focused on dealing with these other groups of units, of trying to harass the Protoss now. Shoving forward here once again. Rush gonna take this high ground. High Templar here to the north, going to be picked off. That shuttle was destroyed during that previous fight, so no clean escape here to be had for Best High Templar. He is going to lose these Dragoons as well, and he will be able to secure his fourth base. The game's slowly slipping out of the hands of Best right now, I feel. He seemed to be in kind of a dominant position there. When he attacked that third base area previously, and killed off a lot of those tanks. But now he's struggling right now. He's really having a hard time confronting this army head on, and it's going to be a while before I think he has the sheer numbers required to fight this army. It's going to have to be great positioning and some excellent storms as well to take that fight. Meanwhile, Rush moving around with the vultures, making sure no additional bases have come up. 5 base Protoss is bad enough. A lot of probes being evacuated here. Dragoons are on their way though, keeping most of those alive. Clear out some mines here. Doesn't want to allow Rush to snag this high ground here in the center of the map. It's a very strong position. If tanks manage to get to that location, it could be very, very tough for Bez to take a decent fight. So, clearing out these mines, making sure that that place is under Protoss control, firmly under his control. And surrounding this army on the high ground. Rush is fine here though. With 4 bases, he can power up and fight for a very long time. We've got an additional forge coming up, so sticking with this ground army, not transitioning into carrier, I don't see an Arbiter transition either. So Best getting prepared for this fight. Ooh, a beautiful drop here in the top center. Going to try and slow down the growth of Protoss on the map. Protoss trying to take this base in the top center, but being denied for now. Looks like these Dragoons will eventually be able to take out this tank, though. Oh, one more. Oh, the tank stays alive. No way. Ooh, big run forward here. The Zealots are really close to these tanks here. Storm, where's the Storm? Storm. Oh, where's the Storm? I think the vessel got a great EMP during all that. It was hard to tell with all of the animations going on at the same time, but those Templar were not able to get the storms off. It would have been amazing storms there on that big group of tanks, but instead the fight goes completely one-sided. Rush manages to make his way to this fifth base, and he will take that down. His army is just too big right now. There's too many tanks. A counter-attack is on the menu here for Best. He's heading around the map, trying to run here directly into the natural. Oh, that mine was massive. So many Zealots here. And the tanks will set up in the natural. A lot of these Zealots just getting cleaned up super quick. Despite the high numbers here, it looks like he will be able to clean up this wave, but eventually Rush is going to finish off this attack. He's going to stop this counter. Oh, wow, I didn't see this part over here. A bunch of Dragoons stopping the fourth base from mining here, pushing that command center away, and they might end up actually killing that. It was getting very, very low. Okay, it might actually end up escaping here. Some tanks coming to assist, but Rush not dealing well with the pressure right now. Rush having to micro in multiple different fronts, and Best is already here in the main and natural of Rush, still mining there in the bottom center, but this base has been taken out. Best mining off of one base right now. The base in the top center has been secured, and Rush manages to secure his natural. He as well mining on a single base. That third base is all he's got right now, but he is sitting on top of this Nexus, really punishing for Best right now. If this Nexus goes down, he will have no mining on the map except for that top center, which I think only has 2 or 3 probes at it right now. Needs to transfer some probes over there. Right now, long distance mining from the 5th base. Storm coming down here on these high ground units. Can he actually save this Nexus? It's imperative that he saves this. E-Matrix down on some of these tanks. Tanks are now out of range of that 5th base. Oh, Vulture drop up here in the top center. He's going to pick off a bunch of these probes. No defenses up there, no cannons or anything, and the Nexus goes down. Ooh, I think that Rush has done it. Oh man, GG, there it is. Wow, Best takes another game. Rush. Oh, excuse me. Rush takes that game. Oh my gosh. I am so embarrassed, guys. Rush takes down Best and ends this week of the KCM. Oh, what a gaffe, guys. Alright, here we are with the point rankings. Terran takes home 2 points on the day. Protoss with a solid +1, bringing the score rankings up to Protoss at 10 points, Terran at 7, and Zerg at 4. So that means we have 1 more week left, guys. However, the standings have already been set. Even if Zerg manages to take next week, they will not be able to get ahead of the Terran. Even if Terran takes next week, they will not be able to get ahead of the Protoss. So it's going to be a Terran versus Zerg semifinal. And a finals will be between whoever wins the semi and Protoss. Protoss gets seeded into that final. So All of the standings have been set. Of course, there is still the matter of the prize money for next week. Who's going to win that $750? Who will take home that second place prize as well? I'm so surprised that Protoss almost won this week, guys. I am so shocked. I felt like they had such a kind of a weak lineup there with just Shuttle and YSC backing up best. And on the other side, we had Soma and Hero that just got absolutely bopped, which, I mean, who expected that? Who anticipated that? You could just see this flat line here from week 5 to week 7. Zerg hasn't won a single point. That is shocking, guys. That is crazy shocking. But anyways, that is it for this week of KCM, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, definitely hit that like button, subscribe as well, hit the notification bell, of course. You can also follow me on Twitch. And if you are inclined to support, the links are in the description down below. You can join that Patreon page, get more content from me, what I'm doing, where I'm at on my travels. Everything is appreciated, guys. Thank you so much for everything, for all your support. I will see you guys in the next KCM.